We were born to champion the dreamers and stand with the underdogs. Because you can only succeed if you're given the opportunity to try.
Are you crying?
Yeah, no, maybe.
Who are some of your like early inspirations besides Bob Marley?
Oh,
that you
Hui
guys would-
Ohana, the Casamaros. We grew up
Oh,
on that kind of
yeah.
stuff. Yeah. Me, Tiva, and Timo, the original Kapena.
Yeah.
I mean, we thought we was the Hui Ohana back in the day. You know what I mean, bro? We channeled those guys so bad.
Yeah.
And it was actually Dennis Pavao, that was a good family friend, the lead singer for Hui Ohana, that sat me down one day. And he told me, hey, you know what, Kelly boy? You have the ability to sing all kinds of genres, you know, because he knew I jammed with him so many times as a kid, you know. And he was like, bro, you can sing all kind, you know. He said, you got to find your own sound, you know. I was crying, bro. I was kind of crushed, bro, that my hero, you know what I mean, had to tell me that I cannot be the Hui Ohana anymore. You know,
Direct from
the right, direct from the mouth, bro.
Hey guys, welcome back to Uncut Hawaii, the podcast where we talk to Hawaii's entrepreneurs, creatives, and change makers. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Kolby, and today we have a very, very special guest with us. We have the incredible Boy DeLima, founder and legendary band Capena that turned 40 years this year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Their iconic songs like Masese, Reggae Train, and Never Gonna Give You Up has been the soundtrack to generations growing up here in Hawaii. Alongside him are his children and even his 12-year-old grandson. Who takes the role of the band's drummer. This multi-generational, multi-award-winning collaboration reflects the band's strong family bonds and commitment to island music. It's a huge, huge honor to be able to talk story with you today, Uncle.
Thank
so
you
thank
guys.
you so much for joining us.
Great to be with you guys. Thank
Yeah.
you.
40
Thank you.
years, wow.
I know.
I can't
long
believe
time.
it.
Long time. I started when I was 5. And so.
Obviously.
That's crazy. To
I
think
know.
like 40 years in the industry,
It is.
doing music. How does that feel? I mean, just we're gonna go back to the beginning, but I mean, just
You know, it's
in
just,
this
I
moment.
feel accomplished.
Yeah.
You know,
it's
just
a
one
huge
accomplishment. Yeah, totally.
Wow. I can't even think of like many other, like even businesses and, you know, that can say that they've made it 40 years. That's
Yeah, you know, it's just been a wonderful journey, you know, and really it's the fans, you know. When I do a show, I was just talking to the kids about this. I said, I always want to give my 150% when I'm performing, you know. When I show up early and it's an hour show, you know, if we there early and the sound guy got us queued up already, you know what I mean? We start early. We still finish at the same time. Sometimes I even go over. I just said, you know, I'm just so grateful, you know,
Yeah.
to be able to, you know, make a living for 40 years and do this with my family now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow. I know. I turned 40 last year.
You did.
So your music has been like the soundtrack of my
Oh
whole
my
life.
gosh.
And then now my daughters listen to it. Like we listen to it in the morning.
No way.
And so
Wow.
I'm just like, it's so crazy. Like the generations now, you know? So,
Yeah.
So special.
It is because we're doing a lot of graduation parties now.
Yeah.
And bro, these are 17, 18-year-old
Yeah.
and choke graduation
Yep,
parties
yep.
we've been doing. Bro, they're singing the songs. It's like, bro, your grandparents was singing.
But it's so cool to see. I mean, music is such a powerful thing, right?
Yeah, it is. It is the soundtrack of our life. I mean, I know
Yes.
exactly how you feel because there's,
Multiple
you know,
generations.
yeah, there's stuff that I listen to that's
Yeah.
like, bro, I remember when I was this age and I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, it takes
where
you
I
back to an
was
era of
and,
your
you know,
life. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's still so like popular and powerful. People just like love it so much. I was just at a graduation too, and they had like a tent and they were playing Masese and Reggae Train. The
Right.
whole family was just
No way.
singing
Yeah,
out
yeah.
loud. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying it. Really am.
Would you have even imagined like back when you were first starting, when you're 18?
Yeah, no, I was like 16, 17 years old. And we started, you know, brown bags at Kamike High School. I mean, this was before internet,
Yep.
cell phones. This was
Yeah.
before you could just instantly see what somebody's doing, you know what I mean, in the Big Island or on the main, you know what I mean? I mean, somebody posts something, that's it. Instant, you know?
Yep.
So the brown bags was like
That's where
the
it was
American
at.
Idol
Yeah.
or the
Yeah,
voice,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
of Hawaii, you know? And so it was a big thing back then. I mean, when you put on brown bags to start on the Waikiki Shell is like loaded, you know, and each school, I mean, how many high schools we have here in Hawaii, right? Or on Oahu alone, bruh, everybody's represented with their colors, with signs. I mean, I got old videos, you know, of me like playing at like Hawaii High and stuff. And just the cheerleaders, bro. All the cheerleaders. Kamiki High School cheerleaders with their pom-poms. You know, screaming. You know what I mean? Wow, those was the days, bro. You know, it was like school pride. It was just island pride. It was just, you know, Hawaii strong. You know what I mean? Back in, you know.
And so many
was
careers were made there.
Oh,
like
totally.
Naleo Pili Mehana was brown bags,
even
right?
even Tia Carrere.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
She was the kind. Naleo Pili Mehana is celebrating 40 this year because we was on the stage the same year as they were.
Oh, at
wow.
They
Brown
sang.
Bag. Oh, nice.
They sang Local Boys and we lost. That was it. It was a smash hit. It was like Local Boys. It's like
Okay.
I mean,
But,
they're pretty good though.
Oh, they are. They are. You know, I mean, they just smashed, and it was an original song too. So I can go on and on. But I learned a lot. You learn a lot through,
Yeah.
you know, different seasons in your life. So yeah, it's good.
Take us back a little bit from there. So you're from the West Side.
Yeah.
And
Born
then-
and raised in, well, actually, I was born in Hau'ula on. That's where my mom. That's where the ambulance picked my mom up
Ah, okay.
to take me to Kapiolani Hospital. That was a long ride, bro, from Hau'ula.
Real.
Your mom's like,
And yeah, I know, 14. And anyway, yeah, my mom always says, "You've always been a pain, bro. You've always." So that's where my mom and dad were living, you know, in Hau'ula, and then as I can remember a little bit of that growing up, and then most of my memories is from Waianae and Makaha because we moved down there, and I went to elementary school. And
Nice.
nice.
What was that like growing up on the west side?
oh, West Side was tough because only had two howly-looking people and me and my mom. And bro, you know, but all my cousins is all Kanakas, you know what I mean? And it's like, wow, even though, you know, they know your family and they know your cousins and stuff, they still like try you out, you know? And it's like, oh, it was either fight or run.
Yeah.
Mostly I was running. What was good? Good. Like I said, it was a season, you know, it was a season of life building, I call it, you know, just building my life, you know, and really appreciating what I have today. And everything really, as I look back, you know, in those days, it all led to music. You know, it all led me to music. I remember my dad them taking me to ukulele class it was on Cornets Beach, we call it. There was Cornets right over there in Makaha, and right across the street, we used to call it Cornets Beach. There was a ukulele class that would go on every Saturday, and that was kind of my first introductory to, you know, music and the ukulele. And in Kelly Boy fashion, I cut out of the class, and my dad came early one day, and he was like, "Where you stay?" I was on the beach skipping rocks in the ocean, not going to my ukulele class. But that was like, you know, just introductory kind things.
Yeah.
I wasn't like one kid that was like attracted to it right away, but the attraction was later on in life, you know.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you didn't, like, your family and stuff were musicians too, or no?
My
not
dad
even?
was. My
Okay.
dad, not professionally, but he loved to play slack key guitar.
Oh, Okay.
You know,
wow.
he played beautiful slack key, and I would wake up listening to that. You know,
Oh, wow.
and but it wasn't until I found until I left Waianae and I moved to Kaimaki, I met some unbelievable talented brothers. One was my friend James Willis. He was one good friend that played the ukulele, and bro, I was like drawn to it. I was drawn, you know. And then we met this other kid that moved into Waikiki. He's from Waimanalo. His name is Kunia Galdera. Kunia lives on the Big Island now, and he plays at some other hotels up there on Hawaii Island. And but he's Gabby Pahinui's grandson.
Oh, wow.
And this guy, bro, was playing like Eric Clapton on a ukulele, and I was like, dude, what? You know, the land down under. Do you come from a land down under? You know, and I'm like, bro, this is so cool, man. And that's when I came home and I told my dad, hey, Dad, can can I get a ukulele? And I remember the words he
"But
told
you
me.
were skipping,
I know.
You were skipping class back
I
there.
know. I know. He told me that too, Kobe. He was like, bruh, I better not see this ukulele collect dust in 2 weeks. You know, like you just play them for it's a little fad. And then, bruh, I never let it down. I still have that ukulele too.
Oh, nice.
Wow, you still have it?
Oh, man, I had to be in like 13 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, 14. But he bought me the best, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and there's something to be said about that. You know, he bought me an 8-string Kamaka ukulele, and I remember the price. It was $260 he paid for that thing. And that was like $2,600.
Yeah, exactly.
$600.
Yeah.
That's crazy, yeah.
You know? And it was beautiful, bro. Just to take pride in something like that, but you didn't want to. Just the way it looked and it sounded, you never like put them down.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did, bro. I would learn on the streets, Waikiki, and we would go into the stairwells because get reverb and get echo. And it would be me, James Willis, Kunio would come sometimes. And then I had another friend, David Kalai. And we would jam in the stairwells and just for hours, bro. For hours, you know.
What kind of songs were you guys playing?
We was playing
back
Bob Marley songs, bro.
Yeah.
Stir it up like 100 times. In 1 hour, 100 times, you know. So they would always tell me, Kelly boy, and I'm always strumming Stir It Up. It's my first, you know what I mean, jam. And it's like, Kelly boy, go play to the pot cars on the side of the street. Kind of like, we don't like hear it already. Oh, it was good fun, bro. Good times. But we was hungry. I was hungry, bro. I wanted to learn. And that's, you know what I mean? It wasn't until, you know, I saw, you know, my friends. And it's kind of like my grandson, you know, playing with us now. You know, he's 12 years old, but he's told that he has to come and play now. You know, kind of like I was told to, go to this ukulele, you know, lessons down. And he's phenomenal drummer. You know that he got the gift, you know, but he's not, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, bro, I'm just sticking with the family program here. Is what he looks like, you know. He's got voluntold to do this, you know what I mean? But I tell you, and as good as he is at 12 years old, I mean, when it hits, you know, when it hits him.
Yeah.
And sometimes it comes from your own peers. It's like, whoa, bro, hey, I play guitar or I play bass. Once you get hooked up with somebody, you know what I mean? Or another drummer or something, that's going to be it. Because all of my kids was like that. Kalena was like that. Kapena, they was all, you know, people tell me, did they have a choice? Nope. Nope. I mean, nowadays as parents, you know, they, we just couldn't support whatever the kind, whatever they want to do. Yeah, maybe they don't want to play the kind or...
Nope.
I was not like that, bro. I was like, nope, you playing bass, you playing piano, and you all taking piano lessons. And before they could go outside and play, they all play 45 minutes on the piano. And then Kalena would go. Kalena is a saxophone player too. She can play saxophone.
Okay.
She's good. He's really good. And 45 minutes on the saxophone. And then I was getting her doing drum lessons too. Drumming, you know. And all of them, you know what I mean? Lila was playing trumpet, bass, and piano, but the foundation was piano. And people always tell me, hey, Kelly boy, how come not the ukulele, bro? You an ukulele? I said, you know, they can play the piano. You learn the piano. You can play every single instrument. It'll just boom. And it was like that. But they were voluntold, like you said, you know what I mean? It's like, do it or you ain't going to go outside and play. And the kids is outside playing kickball in the front, you know, street. And Daddy, they're looking out the window, you know, you got 30 more minutes. And then you got 45 more minutes on the other instrument, so hurry up. You know? But, you know.
I see that, like, hard work so many hours of work must have gone into it, but they're phenomenal. Like, they're so, even like when I, like, listen to Kalena sing, it's, like, mesmerizing.
Yeah.
Like, wow. And she just plays without even looking at the keys. I'm just like...
It's one of those things where, because I grew up like kind of like that. My dad like forced me to play the piano. But it was one of those things where like you don't realize it at the moment. Right. But then now that you're older, right?
Bro, when it really hits you, right?
Yeah,
you know, when the music hits, it's going to be...
like a lot of little things that my parents did growing up, like you realize it now.
Yeah,
and
you
it's
can't
just
help but be grateful for that.
Yeah.
Like, even though it was hard.
But in the moment, it sucked.
Right. And please don't get me wrong, because I tried other things.
Yeah.
But I could see already where
the
gift was. You know, like my grandson, he plays flag football. No. Sorry, but he's not a Gronkowski. You know what I mean? Or but bro, you watch you watch that kid play drums, man. This guy plays for like 20,000 in attendance kind of concerts. He's played Holo Holo Fest down in Las Vegas, and bro, there's like 20,000 strong out in the audience going crazy, and he's out there on the drum, and that's his thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether he knows it, realizes it yet, you know what I mean? Which he doesn't. He doesn't realize
but
it.
he must like
But it's
he
co-
must have
yeah.
friends that go and see
No.
him and be like, dude, you what? Like
What
that's
did you do
so
this past
cool.
weekend?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Capena just posted like a video on his Instagram, my son Capena, and he had his friends over the other night at the house, and he just like his dad, bro. He's recording now. Oh, wow. He's on GarageBand, and he's making beats, and he's doing all of these and the dad snuck into the room and showed the kids, you know, in the room, you know, doing their. And it was all dancing and moving, and he's the little maestro, bro, on his computer making all the beats and stuff like that. And bro, I was cracking up. I was like, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, pretty soon it's gonna hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, wow, this thing really makes people. You know what I mean? And it did for me at that age. You know, when I was learning and stuff, and then we got into the brown bags and stuff like that. It was like, wow. You know, I make people happy with this instead of, you know, because I was on Kolohe Boy, bro. I was in and out of different programs. And bro, my mom and dad sent me to psychiatrists because what was wrong with this kid, you know? Always getting into trouble, cutting out of school and, you know, all kinds of programs, detention, you know, home and all kinds of stuff. So they was always trying to figure me out. But it was like the music that really, I think it was just different kind brain wave or whatever. I don't know how to explain
You found
it.
your
But
thing.
What was that moment for you?
it was the music. You know, I was a surfer. I was actually pretty good surfing. I surfed with some of the, you know,
Beach
pros.
Boys?
Some of the pros. I got a picture with me and Brock Little. Brock was like the world champ, and he entered these you know, China would have the longboard contest down in Waikiki.
Yeah.
Anyway, one day China told me, "Hey, brother, when you do your heat, in between, like you can go play music." And they had one sound system, and bro, I would be playing music and stuff, and that's when it really kind of clicked. You know, like it's like wow.
That was your
You know,
first gig?
yeah. Like it was like, you know, as was Vaughn told one too. You know, China said, "Hey, Kelly boy, you think you like volunteer?" You know?
Can't say no to him.
yeah.
No.
So yeah, that's what it kind of you know.
Okay. How was that feeling? Like,
Oh, it's incredible. You know, just to make people, like I was saying, you know, make people happy. And, you know, it's like people is vibing to this thing, you know, and I was like, wow, you know what I mean? I'm not, you know, I'm doing something positive here now, not making people, you know what I mean? You know, stealing from somebody or making some teacher upset with me or my parents upset with me. You know, I found something that I could, you know what I mean? Make people, for lack of a better word, more happy, you know, instead of bringing them down with my, you know, my kolohenes, you know, you know.
yeah, that's life though.
Yeah. You know, it
had
finally
to-
kind of, that's why I said it was kind of like life and death for me, music, you know,
Yeah.
kind of brought life
Kinda
to my,
saved you, huh?
yeah, it did.
From that moment, like what kind of steps did you take to kind of like pursue that, you know, pursue music?
I just figured out at that point that this is what I wanted to, you know what I mean, that I was going to do. Like I said, I wanted to become a pro surfer, you know, but I don't think I was good enough, you know, with the caliber of guys that was out there. And I said to myself, you know, I love surfing and I still watch it today on WSL all the time. You know, I'm like always on the surf network watching these guys. And I guess the music just took over, you know, and then I put a group together. We put our group together and we started to just, you know, do our thing.
Well, who are some of your like early inspirations besides Bob Marley?
Oh,
that you
Hui
guys would-
Ohana, the Casamaros. We grew up
Oh,
on that kind of
yeah.
stuff. Yeah. Me, Tiva, and Timo, the original Capena.
Yeah.
I mean, we thought we was the Hui Ohana back in the day. You know what I mean, bro? We channeled those guys so bad.
Yeah. But it's cool because you have that inspiration and
Yeah.
there was someone
Right.
ahead of you kind of like setting that path.
Right. And it was actually Dennis Pavao, that was a good family friend, the lead singer for Hui Ohana, that sat me down one day and he told me, hey, you know what, Kelly boy? Of course, he was prompted by my uncle, who was his best friend. Hey, you got to go talk to the boy, you know? And so Dennis sat me down and he said, you know, you have the ability to sing all kinds of genres, you know, because he knew I jammed with him so many times as a kid, you know, and he was like, bro, you can sing all kind, you know. He said, you got to find your own sound, you know, and that's, you know, I left there 2 things. One was I was crying, bro. I was kind of crushed, bro, that my hero, you know what I mean, had to, you know what I mean, tell me that I cannot be the Hui Ohana anymore, you know.
Direct from the source.
Direct from the mouth, bro. This guy is like the golden voice, right? Right. And then, you know, later on, it kind of, you know, I was kind of happy, man. And we started, you know, we started recording all of these different music and not only reggae, but we did a lot of Polynesian, Samoan, Tongan, Fijian, you know what I mean? Which took us all over the world, bro. I mean, you go down to Guam and stuff, bro, they literally adopted Masese. You know what I mean? That's like their national anthem song, bro. Serious. We've been to Guam, bro. You cannot count hundreds of times. And for 15 years, we wouldn't be home for New Year's. We'd be in Guam.
Really?
You know, I would never be home for New Year's.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so the new Kapena tour is going. We're going to Guam and we're going all down there back in the. You know,
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Because Masese is Fijian?
It's Fijian, but in Guam, Ma'ase means thank you.
Okay.
So we say Ma'ase, Ma'ase.
I see,
And
I see.
Masese. So it's like, whoa, real close. So it's like,
oh, they love that then.
They do. So it's, so we've been down to all of those islands for many years, you know what I mean? So it really opened up. So Dennis's advice was really came true, man. Yeah,
it's
it's
like
like,
that to heart.
That's another like milestone in your music career.
totally.
Kind of flipped that, another switch for you.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
So after you guys won, you entered Brown Bags, lost to Neleo Pilimehana, and then entered again, and you guys won the second.
No. We never ever won we never ever won brown bags.
But that kind of launched.
But
you guys
that launched,
into,
That was our, that was our takeoff pad right there. You know,
Yeah.
it was different. You know, it was it was big. You know what I mean? Because so many people were there, like I said, you know, but we didn't have the internet and stuff like that. But the word of mouth, you know what I mean? Coconut wireless was back in those days, right?
Yeah.
Just spread. You know what I mean? It was like, man, there's this holy looking Portuguese Hawaiian boy that with 2 Tongans and bro, they're like lighting it up around the island, you know what I mean? And bro, we did so much, man. And then when we started doing the Polynesian stuff and, you know, because Tivaine, the bass player who is Josh Totofi's dad, he danced in a Polynesian show, the Hawaiian Hut. So, you know, in Polynesian shows, you do Samoan, Maori, you do all of these different, you know, ethnicities, you know, and he was versed already in, you know what I mean, these different, you know, and he was, maybe we should record this one, Kelly Boy. And I was like, bro, Masese was one tough one for Swallow. You know what I mean? Because I was like, what? We're going to record this song, Masese, Masese, Masese. It repeats itself. It just repeats. Capena, Capena. I said, they're not going to like this song. But, bro, local people love to repeat this song. Right, brother? Right, brother?
Yeah.
You know?
It's easy to sing along with it. They know the words.
And kids, it's like, you know what I mean? The kids just, my little Winter, Lilo's daughter, she's 3 years old, bruh. She goes off with Masese. I was like, wow.
First word.
I know. So, that was a tough pill to swallow. And, bro, little did I know that it would be still till today, bro. People send me memes of people dancing to Masese or they put these things together. All over the world they send.
Oh, my gosh.
They send this to us. And it's incredible. I just blown away.
I remember singing karaoke, like, not here. I think we might have been in, like,
And there was Masese.
yeah, there was Masese. People were going off on Masese. I was like, wow, this really is like worldwide.
Bro, the natives go restless, bro. The natives go restless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would go to like karaoke spots where they wouldn't have it. And
Yeah.
we'd be like, what? So we'd play it on the mic. That's like a good, kickoff song.
Yeah,
Everybody
so
knows the
funny.
words.
Yeah,
How did we not
yeah.
have Masese
I know.
on this list?
Oh,
Wow.
Crazy.
But to think that wasn't even going to be a song.
I know. I was like, kind of, okay. I was like,
Let's do it.
for real. I was like, and the man that wrote it is, his name is Sakyusa Buli Toko Toko is his name. He's Fijian man. And he lived with Tiva and Timo for like, 10 years.
Oh, wow.
He came from Fiji, and we recorded his song, and he was so happy that we did. And so he's on a lot of our early albums. The guy was versatile, such an unbelievable musician, and he played drums on our albums. He played guitar on it, and just really talented.
How did you guys even connect, like to
So,
start? Because you started in the stairwell with
Yeah.
2 other friends.
Right. So Tiva and Timo went to Kamikia High School too. But Tiva is a upperclassman, so he was graduated already when I went with his younger brother Timo.
Okay.
And we're in Ohana Omele class. The teacher's name was Mr. Kaneda. God bless Mr. Kaneda, man. Whew.
It's crazy. Every sorry to cut you off, but like every episode we talk to, there's a teacher that that
Yeah.
always like plays
Yeah.
a role in your life.
Yeah,
Big
there was a
role.
couple. Miss
Yeah.
Lau from Kamikia Intermediate was one of my inspirations. That lady, she was the only one that I would show up to her class, bro. You know what I mean? Miss Lau.
Was she music? A music
She
teacher?
she was Hawaiiana. So she
Okay.
taught us the Lord's Prayer in Hawaiian, and then she taught us Kaulana Napua, all those
Yeah.
songs, and that triggered like something in me. I wasn't even playing ukulele yet. You know what I mean? It was like, but bro, I could sing Kaulana Napua,
Yeah.
and say the Lord's Prayer in Hawaiian, and she was just one sweet. I guess for me it was respect. You know what I mean? That really caught me. I remember going. I was in the office and all my teachers was inside there, and Miss Lau had to come. She came a little bit tardy. She was doing something, and bro, I had like the ultimate conference with my dad and all my teachers, bro. Like I wasn't going to class, so they put me on what they call a dog tag, right? Where you gotta sign every class, make sure you go to every, make sure your teacher sign them, and I gotta go home show my dad, you know what I mean, so that I would show up. But I remember Miss Lau coming in late to that meeting. It was like one room like this, and everybody's on, all my teachers, and my dad is there, bro. And Miss Lau came in, bro, and she just hugged me, and she said, "I love this boy." She said, "He's a good boy."
Oh, wow.
So she could see underneath, like you know what I mean? Like I wasn't a bad person, you know what I mean? I never did anything, vindictive or vicious to any of my teachers, anything. But she just she could see that I was, you know what I mean? For whatever reason, I was this kid going through whatever I was going through during those days. And
That's awesome.
she would just love on us. She just loved on me, and
Wow.
that.
There's some of those teachers that are just like, I swear they're like an angel.
Right.
They're just like
Right. I'll
placed
never
into your
forget her.
life, into
Yeah.
your life, just to help you believe maybe like, yeah, I'm not a bad kid.
Yeah, she's seen the good.
Yeah.
There's people in life that they see past the bad, you know what I mean? And they just see that, hey, underneath it, this kid got something, you know, or something special. And I see that all the time now that I'm teaching, at the school. I can see, you know what I mean, some rough, tough kids coming in, you know what I mean? And the parents is making them come over there, learn the ukulele like me back in the day.
Yeah. So you understand.
Yeah. You can
must
see
have
through it. You can
must
see
have a
that.
soft spot for
Oh,
those
I do.
kids. Yeah.
I do. That's my jams right
Yeah.
there. And then Mr. Kaneda in high school, so it you just get these seasons, I call it, in life, and people that are in there. Mr. Kaneda and Mr. Lu. Yeah, he was the band teacher, Mr. Lu.
Nice.
Kaneda was the Ohana Omele, we called it. And
So you guys were all in class, or you were
we were in that
with-
class,
Yep.
and then I was with Timo, and Timo said, I told him, "Hey, bro, I'm going to enter the brown bags to stardom." And he goes, "What?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm going to enter the brown bags, bro." And he goes, "Okay." He goes, "Hey, I have a brother. He's 2 years older than us, but he played bass." And I was like, "Nah." And I was like, I never did hear on bass player. Like, anyway, that's how it all started. Tiva came and we entered the brown bags. But the thing with Tiva, there's a video that I have of us playing that. Tiva couldn't play on instrument, or he couldn't sing, because he had already graduated, and I guess they had rules or something for the brown bags.
Yeah.
So there was another Hawaiian boy that I grew up with also that played with us, and his name is Bumpsy Bodge. Bumpsy was playing in class with us bass and stuff. So I said, "Hey, Bumpsy, you gonna play with us, and we're gonna enter the brown bags," or
Yeah.
And he was like, "Okay, shoot," So that was That was the
Oh, nice.
how it worked out. But Tiva on the video is playing congas. They let him play
So they
congas.
let him,
Cute.
Yeah. So they let him in. They let him in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So after that, you guys stayed together
we stayed together. Yeah,
for how many years?
for about 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So right now, this 40-year anniversary or reunion, we're calling it, is a celebration of really Tiva and Timo and the founders, of Capena, and then the ones that kept it alive for the next 20 years, which
Yeah.
was my kids. You know what I mean? And for 20 years, these kids have been, playing and keeping Capena alive with new music. You know what I mean? And everything that we do. I wonder, sometimes I wonder if it all ended at 20 years ago, you know what I mean? If anybody would even remember Capena, after 20 years. So they
Right.
really kept it alive. So it's a celebration of not only, the founders, but also the ones that are current and have kept it alive,
Amazing.
For now, yeah,
are
for
they are they here or are they?
Timo, or his name is Temoni. Temoni is back in Tonga. So he's been there for, I think, well over 10 years, maybe 10, 15 years already. And then Tivaini, he goes back and forth. He's like the dad just passed away. So, he's the oldest, yeah. So Tongan, culture, the oldest, you know what I mean? Takes
take
care of
over.
all of the affairs and stuff like that. So he goes back and forth to take care of everything.
Have they been like apart? I know they haven't. You guys, after the 20 years, it was like the new chapter. But you guys have been keeping in touch, and
Yeah.
they've been sort of a part of Capena during that time too.
Not really. We did a 30-year reunion.
Okay. Yeah.
And we figured, wow, 10 years after that, it's like, wow, we're still alive and breathing and walking around. So maybe we
you
should
might as well.
Yeah. But no, that chapter
Yeah.
kind of just ended, but I wasn't about to end
Yeah.
anything. You know what I mean? I had goals and, and at that time my kids was getting, coming up,
Yeah.
and it was like, whoa, these kids was born and raised into Capena. You know what I mean? They
exactly,
know
yeah.
every note. They know every, but it's like they bring, it's next level, their musicianship. Like me, Tiva, and Timo, we all play by ear.
Yep.
Everything that we play is like, but brah, these guys is like, oh, no. In this note, you should hit the interval or whatever. I don't know.
Super technical.
Yeah. It was like, what the heck is intervals? Or I don't know what. I might be saying it wrong too. I don't know. Bro, all my kids are piano teachers, Andrew. And honest to God, bro, I don't even know. Like, I gotta tell them, hey, press the C key.
Yes, I can hear you.
So I can tune my ukulele. What is the C? It's like.
Yeah.
So, bro, I took them all to piano lesson. I taught them. I never taught them the piano, but I had people teach them. But I reinforced it,
Yeah.
coming home. And so they take the Capena sound. It still sounds like Capena, you know what I mean? But it was, it's a little bit, it's a lot more refined, you know what I mean? And really thought out. Like, bro, in those days, bro, it was just free for all. Cause you know what I mean? The louder, the better, you know what I mean?
That's so cool because, like you said, like the next generation is keeping it alive.
It is,
So
yeah.
like, how is
And
that?
not just keeping it alive, but like taking it to another level too.
Yep.
With like how they're technically trained and they know certain things that
Right.
but you just don't know how to like name it. They've been able to make new songs and stuff, right?
Oh yeah. Like Lilo wrote The Queen, which was a big song. And Kalena did a whole bunch, the list goes on.
Yeah.
But yet we still, do all our old school Capena ones, but it's a lot different, Lilo's bass playing style is different than Tiva's, little bit more, unlike us, unschooled, they're more schooled, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
But it's cool because they're still playing to the roots too, and it's like
right.
Yeah.
adding their
Yeah.
flair to it.
And I like to say that, back in our days when we were the kind, we was real hungry.
Yeah.
These kids, Kalena, Capena, and Lilo, they was born on a Waikiki shell stage.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bruh, for us to be on a Waikiki shell stage, bruh, was like, it's every musician's dream, to be on that. We had the eye of the tiger, bruh, like Rocky said. You know what I mean? We had the eye of the tiger, back in those days. We would hustle, bruh. We'd go to clubs, bruh, and request ourselves to be called up so that people would hear us. You know, the kind could hear us,
yeah.
It's like, call Capena up to come sing one song, bro. Just give them to the waitress. Just a, you know.
Putting in your own request.
Yeah. You know,
that's
just
awesome.
just so that we could be called up, bro. And then, bro, when we get up, it's like, you know what I mean? Wow,
Yeah.
It was that's the
do
kind of
what
stuff
you
we would
gotta
do.
do, yeah.
You know what I mean? But my kids never ever had to worry about that kind of
Yeah.
stuff because they, Capena
Capena
was
was
established
already,
already. You know what I mean? And it's just all it was doing, just coming in and filling the shoes. You know what I mean? And they did one bang up job.
Yeah.
And they're still doing unreal.
That is so, I feel like that might be very rare nowadays to have that kind of fire, that kind of drive to succeed because maybe, and back then too, there wasn't like Instagram and social media to just kind of get like a big audience really quickly. Like you had to go night by night, like club by club to get, just a few people to hear your music. And so that building of Capena was probably a lot, like, I don't know if people would put that much work into it
Right.
nowadays,
Right.
That's like the old school hunger.
Yeah, there was a guy that emailed me one time and he said, "Bruh, Kelly boy, when you guys your first album came out, we live on the North Shore, and me and my cousin caught the bus all the way to town, Tower Records, on over here on Ke'iamoku.
Yep.
And we bought your cassette,
Wow.
and we caught the bus back, bro. That's the kind. That's the kind. Now just download them. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
a lot of effort.
Yeah.
I mean, from the fans to
Yeah.
us creating the stuff too. It was crazy.
Yeah. Were you guys like in those early days? Were you guys gigging every night?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and my kids too. I mean,
Yeah.
bro, I can tell you some stuff. I mean, I'm sure Kalena told you already, but bro, like, yeah.
That was kind
Poor
of
kids.
amazing. Poor kids. That was amazing when I was talking to Kalena on this podcast, and she was like, "Oh yeah, go to school, and then after school,
Yep.
gig
Get
in
ready
like
for the
multiple
gig. Yeah.
places too."
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
We'll be at the Royal Hawaiian, and here's the little light on the table with one candle burning in them. So she got to put them over here so that she can do her homework during the break. I just saw this and I got on flashback. It was like, and she's over there doing her homework and yeah. So, and I would joke with them, "Hey, Kalena, you need any help with that algebra?" She says, "Oh, please, Dad."
But how many people can say that they had that kind of experience?
I
you
know.
That's special.
It was different. I remember the first night. I got to tell you guys one story. I don't think I ever told anybody this one, but me, Lilo, and Kalena. So all of my kids, we were hired as like a duo, at all the hotels. So at the Royal in particular, we were doing a duo, but I would bring the kids, you know what I mean? Like, so we would go as a trio. So that happened so Capena started with me as a duo. Then we brought Kalena in at 11 years old.
Wow.
Pena started when he was 11. But when Capena was going off to college, I brought in Lilo, and we're still getting paid as one duo. My manager would hit the ceiling. He was like, "You're setting precedents. We cannot get more money for a trio now because you're bringing one trio, working as a duo, He would hit the ceiling with me. I used to tell him, KT, bro, this is training grounds, bro. This is training grounds for my kids. And that's what Waikiki was. That's where they learned, and we played 5 nights a week in Waikiki. So that one night we were at the Royal and we went back to a duo because Kalena Ku got hired at the Aulani to be the MC and musician for the new show at Aulani was just opening up. So it was our first night. And, Kalena would sing all her high falsetto, Alika, and, and all these songs, right? So me and Lilo is sitting in the back, and there's a band that plays from 5 to 7, then we go from 7 to 9, so they're singing, and then Lilo's real quiet and goes, "Lilo, what's the matter?" She goes, "I'm scared, Dad." And I'm like, "What you mean you're scared?" She goes, well, Kalena's not here. She tells me like that.
Yeah.
And she goes, I look at her and I goes, "And?" And she goes, "Well, who's going to sing all our hits?" She tells me like that. She's only 11, 12 years old. Right? "Who's going to sing all our hits, Dad?" And I looked at her and I goes, "Hey, Lilo, I know a couple of hits myself, okay?"
I know a
She's
guy.
like, I know a guy, right? bro.
So cute.
Crack up, but that's a little, insides that, people don't know. But bro, it was all, that was constant. That was constant practice, bro, for them to be doing homework on the tables at, the different gigs, and then we go home, we get home at like 9, then they, have something to eat, and then they go sleep, and then they wake up 6:30 in the morning, because they was going school in town, so they gotta wake up extra early, and then they go school, and then
Repeat.
we pick them up, come home, they eat something, and then boom, we're back to town. I mean, bro, we was going to town like crazy. I mean, unreal.
And at
Back and
11 years
forth.
old, because my oldest daughter is 11. I can't even imagine her.
Right.
Like, I cannot even imagine
Strapping on one instrument,
Yes.
singing
No
5
way.
nights a week. Yep.
that. And her voice is still like so high. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't
and she's so little.
Yeah.
Wow.
A crazy perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. People talk about like family business and stuff as like something like that's very difficult. And I can't imagine. I mean, I worked with my brother for a few years, and I'm like, okay, you got to start your own company. Everybody talks about it being really difficult because there's so many layers of it. It's like family, and there's that love, unconditional love, but then it's also a business, and like there's certain standards and things like
Right.
that. So how were you able to manage that?
You know what, Kolby? Good question, because it took me many years to navigate that. As kids, you can talk to them any way you like. But when they start getting older, whoa, I'm a real control kind of dad. I control.
Are you?
I am. I mean, it's like, do this and do that and let's go. I remember the first night Kapena was on stage with us. She took over the job as the keyboard player. Kapena was my baby that 9 o'clock on the dot, bro, she's 3 sheets to the wind, bro. She's out cold. You know what I mean? It had to have been about, whereas at Gordon Biersch, Aloha Tower, and she is on the keyboard, and I think it was like at 11 o'clock. I look over to her at the keyboard, and she's crying. She's like, and her body is shaking, and I'm looking at her and I'm like, what the hell is going on, Kapena? I'm tired. She tells me like that.
How old
And I
is
looked
she
at,
about?
oh man, 14 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
14,
Yeah.
15, and bro, I yell at her. I told him, snap out of it. We performing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
people looking up on stage, you know what I mean? So that was, that too plays into things too, because you got to look one certain way. You got to be one,
Yeah.
you can't, this
Regardless
is
of
stage.
whatever you're feeling,
Whatever,
yeah.
my dad told me one time, he said, my dad beat me up one time coming off of the stage. He he slapped me in the head, and he was like, because I was pissed off with the 2 Tongans. We got into a little, tiff or whatever it was.
And you could see it.
And I went up on stage, bro, and I was pissed, bro. My dad slapped the crap out of me, man, off of that. He said, you never do that. You know what I mean? So this is inside of this trauma, you know what I mean? My dad beating me is inside of my head, you know what I mean? So, bro, I raised my kids up the same way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I told them, pull this crap. You know what I mean? And, poor kids, you know what I mean? Again,
But it builds
you know what I
character.
mean? But, really, I had a lot of learning to do. And it's true what you were saying. It's tough. You know what I mean? When you get one dictator as a father, you know what I mean? Dictating everything, every move, you know what I mean? Every smile. Hey, come on, smile. You're not, it's like, it's not easy. You know what I mean? But then they grow up, bro, and then you yell at them, and then they take offense to it. You know what I mean? And it's like, what's going on? And I told my wife, I don't understand. She goes, honey, they're not kids anymore.
Yeah.
You cannot go pulling this jazz anymore. You know what I mean? And I was like, man, so I really had to learn. So today, bro, I'm so chill.
Yeah.
My little grandson, right? I give him looks, but it's only the kind I was like, he misses one beat or something. I look back and I'm like, and he's like, he looked back at me and he goes, my kids would not do that to me, bro. My kids, bro, don't do that or else we'll left hand. You know what I mean? But not my little grandson, bro.
That's like this.
Yeah, so the kids always tell me, what? How come he gets away with that kind of stuff? The kind they always telling me that kind. And I was like, hey, chill out, I've changed.
That's every grandparent story.
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, I look at my dad, I'm like, who are you?
Right.
Like, you're so like sweet with my daughter, so present.
That's so funny. So like you said, it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing because you think, you wouldn't, like if you was in my group member and Andrew was in my group member, bro, I wouldn't talk to you like I would my kids.
Right,
Hey,
right.
Yeah.
stupid. How come you play,
Yeah.
You would have respect, but it's like Andrew and as Kolby is like,
Yeah.
whoa, I'm not going to call her stupid or hey, you're going to have a little bit more reserve, right? If it's but your family,
Yeah.
It's like, you got to kind of, pull it back.
That's hard. Yeah.
know.
But then they're still with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
playing music.
I thank God that
Yeah.
they love me and, they understand, that it was just, you know what I mean? I saw this vision for them. That vision came true, bro, Kolby. It came true, It's like, I mean, my kids make a living playing music and, it was really tough when Capena, left the band because, she got married to Kala'e and God bless them. They're doing such wonderful things.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit tough to, for our family, you know what I mean, to kind of take it in like, wow, Kalena's not going to be part of the band anymore, you know? But you know what? When one door closes in our family, we always believe, that another one opens. I would have never thought that my grandson would have the gift, you know what I mean? And when Capena, and Kala'e started their, their wonderful career, they're doing so well, and we're so proud. It's like it's a branch of us. You know what I mean? It's just another branch, and now the tree is even bigger.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's rooted in the ground, strong, and
Yeah.
it's just we got more growth. You know what I mean? And all the way around, even with our band. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I got this, and bro, you gotta see people's faces. When it's like this is 3 generations of Capena right here in this band.
Yeah.
And they're just freaking out. You know what I mean? It's like, wow.
Yeah.
And then Capena, people always coming up to, we saw Capena and Kala'e, they open up for this big country star and, in Maui, and they were fabulous, just amazing. They're doing such great, so I get the reports from all over,
That must be
And
amazing feeling.
it's really, you know what I mean? It's meant to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's meant to
Yeah.
be. You don't want them just to stay stuck and taking care of your cause over here. You want it to branch and you want it to go out. That was always my idea of raising these kids. I could see this but sometimes when it gets to that point, you just don't want to let go. Sometimes,
it's
it
tough.
hurts
It's
a little
tough.
bit,
Yeah.
a little bit. But you know what?
Change is hard.
But the big
Yeah.
picture.
Today, I mean, it's totally, bro. I'm so happy.
It's all like you're saying. It's all part of
Yeah.
your legacy.
Yeah,
like
it
Capena and
is.
Kala'e, the
Right.
music school, your
Oh,
grandson.
it's so good.
like you're like at the core
Yeah,
of that.
yeah.
And like look at this beautiful like tree that's like growing and
That's what,
expanding.
right.
Flow.
And that's
Yeah.
what, even in all of my faults, I hope that my kids remember that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That all of everything that they've created, you know what I mean? I mean, the music school is doing wonderful things, teaching the next generations
Yeah.
of music makers, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Their career, Capena and Kala'e, us, what we're doing, you know what I mean? Just, for me, I'm in it now just because I get to watch this guy grow. My little grandson, like I did my children. So it's like I'm reliving, but I'm a different Kelly boy.
Yeah.
I'm not that, you know what I mean?
That's amazing.
That sergeant. That,
But what's cool too is that you still are so in love with it. Like you said, like you get up and like perform even 40 years later.
Yeah.
And you just want the audience to be happy and
Yeah,
you just want to
yeah.
do a good job. It's like that's very admirable that you're able to keep up that like love and enthusiasm after all these years.
yeah,
Like
true.
how were you able to do that? Because I mean, everybody wants you to sing Masese. Everybody wants you to sing like those classics,
That's a good question too. And there's just one word, grateful. Grateful for where God has put me, really grateful that I get to sing for somebody and make them react like this. You know what I mean? I don't take it for granted. I don't think like, wow, that's me. You know what I mean? Like I did that, I know that there's there's the God that we serve in our lives that really gives us the gift, you know what I mean, to do this. So with that, you know what I mean, I'm entrusted with this gift, and it's a very special gift. You can lose it, you know, if you don't take care of it. I seen it with drugs, and I've been down that road. You know, I seen it with all kinds of just not taking care of this thing, or thinking that it's all about you. You know what I mean? My thing has never been, it's not Kelly Boy, bro. It's the fans that keep you know what I mean, alive.
Yep.
So in turn, what do you got to do? You got to keep yourself healthy. You got to keep yourself going. You got to keep yourself positive, and give a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give a little bit, and be appreciative for, you know, when you're appreciative with in your life, and for the gifts that you've been given, it translates, you know, on stage.
Yeah. And people
You know,
can see that.
people can feel it, man.
Oh, totally.
But if you're in depression and you hung up on something, you know what I mean? I mean, they can feel that too, because music is emotion, bro. That's people is feeling that emotions coming off of that stage, bro. What is it? You know what I mean? That you're giving them. Is it, oh, this is the Kelly Boy show, or is it we're here to entertain you? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So I've always had that outlook, you know, in our music. So
And people
So we
feel
try
it
to-
for sure.
People still feel it, yeah.
We were listening on the way to the airport. Me and my husband were driving, and then we were listening to Capena. And then my husband's like, Kelly Boy is just like the ultimate. It's like aloha is like who you are. Like when people think of aloha, they think of Kelly Boy. You know, and it's like,
and it's not, you know, it's not a put on, you know, Kolby. I really am thankful. That's why, you know, really grateful for this, you know, this role, you know, that I've been blessed with. It really is, you know, even so much so to the point where sometimes I've neglected my own family, and it's like, I wish you would treat us like that. You know what I mean? But when you come home, you just, hey, you got to do it. We got to do it, you know. And I understand, you know what I mean? But you try
That
to
constant battle.
Yeah.
Throughout
you
the
know,
whole career.
But at least you're aware of that too, and that you're getting better at it. You're growing.
I
and
recognize it now.
You do. You
You
recognize
know?
it, and then
Yeah.
you talk to them about it,
Right.
and then they're musicians, so I'm sure they understand it too.
Right.
I think that's like that's powerful when you're able to like recognize that maybe I made some mistakes in the past, and like maybe you guys don't do this the way that I did it or whatever, and like
Right.
you see them and they see you, and I'm sure like they totally get where that came from too.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's why I think, you know, the 40 years is because I don't take it for granted. You know, even when I go home, bro, I look at my house and I think to myself, wow, you know, like I got a roof over my head. How grateful am I for that? Where there's people that don't, you know what I mean? And sometimes I transport myself back to when I was a kid and I was in trouble all the time, and you know, and I think to myself, man, I would never think, you know what I mean, that I'll be at this end of life. All my friends that I was hanging out with and doing the kind, they all went to jail. They went to, you know, prison because they got into other things, you know what I mean? And but I never forget, because we go every year to the prisons. We go and we play for the women's facility. We go to the federal facility. We go Christmas time to Halava. We just went to OCCC this past Christmas, and we just put on concerts for them, bro, free.
amazing.
Oh, wow.
Nobody pay us. We go over there, we give back, you know,
Yeah.
because I could have been in there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's where I was headed, you know. And people don't realize that. They just see the shiny, oh, your family's so beautiful. But they don't know that behind there, like you were saying earlier, you know, and there was a lot of, you know what I mean? There's a lot of pilikia sometimes in families, you know, you know, to make it. But we learn. As long as you said, like you said, you know, we learn and we're aware of it. You know what I mean? So
Constant growth.
Beautiful.
Learning,
that's where we're at
adapting.
today.
Yeah.
Capena 40,
years.
guys.
Wow.
40.
What does 40
Amazing.
mean to you? I mean, like
40
just making
is
this-
like, bro, like accomplishment,
Yeah.
man.
Yes.
Again, if I can abuse that word,
Yeah.
you know, just accomplished, you know, like, wow.
back at the shell too. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
back
it's
at
iconic,
where it all
yeah,
started, you know.
Yeah. Oh man,
Yeah.
I remember Kalena in her podcast. She talked about one of the biggest moments, or like one of those moments that she will never forget. It must have been the 30 year. She talked about like the looking out into the stage, and I think she was saying that she was like producing, so she wasn't performing, but she looked out into the crowd and everybody had the lights going.
Oh, right.
Was that
right.
the 30 year?
That was
Or
a
was that-
30 year.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I got a better story than that. So back when I first started singing, that was a song, Danny song. Even though we ain't got money.
Yeah.
I did it one year, and that was back when never had cell phones, never had anything.
Yeah.
It was lighters.
Oh,
Yes. Yeah, the
And it was
OG.
like-
Take break, change hands, change hands.
In the
Hold it
fingers,
for
you know, the
a
kind.
little while.
And then the next year, FM 100 came out with these lights that you squish the light and the light would go on.
I remember those.
Yeah, the
Yep.
first
Yeah.
5,000 people got it, right? And that was it. Boom. Just so that they could do it for Danny's song.
Yeah.
And then now for the 30th, everybody gets cell phones. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
everybody's just lighting up there. So I tell people, hey, if you're at 3%, keep your phone off.
Save them, save
You
them.
cannot get your Uber. That's why. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, so it's cell phones now, and it's like tradition that right there at the
Yep.
Waikiki Shell, you know.
You're gonna have some people who are there with the lighters, and then they're
Oh,
back for the
right,
40
right.
year.
It's like we still here, Kelly
Yeah.
boy.
Well, I know you brought your ukulele.
I did,
You want to play
I
a
did.
quick song? I know
Okay.
we're running out of time, but wait, this is not the original ukulele that you.
Oh no. This is my kanile Kelly boy design.
Oh, beautiful.
Custom.
Wow.
Kalena actually designed this because she was working for Kanilea for a little while.
Oh, lots of
So
meaning for it.
see this chain. This is kind of like, you know, I always get these my
Yeah.
chain, right?
Yeah.
So there's the pearl and there's the chain.
nice. Oh, yeah, sick.
You know, my friend gave me this in Tahiti. He said I had one small little pearl,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, "Brother, that is too small for a big man like you." So I said, "Okay." So he gave me this, and I told him, "Bro, I would
Wow.
never ever take it off." And so,
Wow.
I mean, I take it off when I go shower and stuff, you know, once a week.
How long ago?
Nah.
How long ago was that?
Oh, this was years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, gotta be 15 years
Oh,
maybe.
wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a big, beautiful pearl.
It's a big, these buggers cost, I mean, it's
Yeah.
hard to
Yeah.
find
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
they said. So popular, yeah. I'll do Kalenaku.
Okay, yeah.
Funny faces as you try and walk to me. My little girl, you mean so much to me. My big brown eyes, candy smile and oh so sweet. My little girl, you mean so much to me. Everybody needs a little someone in their life, and I've got you. Everybody needs a little someone in their life, and I've got you. Kalenaku. Everybody needs a little sunshine in their life, and I've got you, Kalenaku. Yeah. Or Kalenaku.
Oh, that makes me emotional listening
Yeah.
to you sing. I'm like, oh
Thank
man,
you.
my dad would play that song. I'm not Kalena, but my dad would play that song
And
for me
Kolby
growing.
too.
Oh, and then I remember talking to Kalena about this song, and she's like, the crazy thing is like she'll be out and like singing, and people named Kalenaku will come up to her
Right.
and say like, I'm Kalenaku.
Right,
Aw.
right.
Oh, so special.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well,
You're welcome.
Share a little bit about when this 40-year reunion
talk about the
concert
show.
is happening.
Okay, so August 31st, the Waikiki Shell. A lot of tickets have sold already, so get your tickets because it's going to be a sellout for sure. I think like the first day alone, the first day it was released, 2,500 tickets was sold.
Wow.
So you can go to hifi.com, hifi.com. You can get tickets there or Ticketmasters. Or you can go to our Capena Instagram, Capena Music, and I believe we have a link right on there on Instagram and Facebook. So,
Awesome.
yeah, we haven't announced the special guest yet,
Ooh.
but they're coming
Exciting.
out soon.
Nice.
So August 31st, and then we're doing island-wide tour as well. And then we're coming to Guam. We're coming to San Jose.
Nice.
We're going to Vegas. We're
Wow.
going, I mean, all over the
Ooh,
place.
you're gonna be busy this
Yeah,
year.
yeah. It's going to be 2 months of just smashing. You know
That's
what I
gonna be
mean?
fun,
So
though. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's going to be awesome. Yeah. But the entire tour is going to be online, and you can
Okay.
see.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, they're adding, because it's a little ways away,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we kind of wanted to just let everybody know.
Yeah.
And then we bring in the brothers back from Tonga, so we got to chip off some of the rust, and rehearse and get things together and put our old school Kapena songs together and
Yes.
do it
Oh,
do it
I
up
can't
good
wait.
for everybody.
Oh, that's really exciting.
It's a
can't wait.
celebration. It's just
Yes.
one celebration, like Kobe said, the soundtrack of your life. That's the
Yeah.
word I was looking for,
Yeah.
And we all have it,
Yeah.
I can just envision all kinds of groups and stuff right now in my mind where it takes me back to, certain points of my life. So, and I know people have told me that for years, bro, I remember coming to see you guys and you played this song and
Yeah.
there was some guy, he came up to me, he goes, we used to play on this boat called the Star Dancer every weekend. And he said, bro, I met my wife over there and then we got married and we had kids. And I goes, yeah, bro, and you never came back.
It's so cool though, because
Yeah, we made the connection.
Your show is gonna
Yeah.
really like take people through the soundtrack of their
Right.
lives, but then also make new
Uh-huh.
memories for
Yeah.
Yeah,
different
yeah.
people, next generation. too.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
beautiful.
Thank you guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you for having
Everyone
me.
get your tickets. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's been an honor talking story.
Yes, that was truly an honor.
Oh,
We're so
thank
grateful
you. Thank you,
to have
Kobe. Thank you, Andrew. Nice
Yeah.
to see you
Yeah, yeah,
guys,
yeah.
man. Right on.
All right, get your tickets. Please share this episode with a friend, subscribe, all those good things. Aloha, see you next time.